Hello, this is Nitin Dahad with EE Times, and I'm here at the Analog Devices booth at Embedded World in Nuremberg with Fiona Treacy, who's the Managing Director of Industrial Automation for the company. Hello, Fiona.
Hello, great to have you here at the Analog Devices stand.
So there's been lots going on here. I think Europe is a main centre for automation, industrial automation, building automation. I've seen some of those things on your booth today. Tell me what's going on in the world of industrial automation.
Yes, absolutely. So it's a very exciting time in the world of industrial automation. It's really a time of transformational change. And we're seeing a number of key trends that maybe I'll just briefly mention. So one of the key trends is this need to make manufacturing more sustainable and to obviously enable more goods to be made locally in Europe. So making products and factories more efficient from an energy perspective, but also making them more productive and driving utilization. So overall efficiency in terms of that operation. The second big trend we see is around flexibility. So making factories basically software configurable and software configurable automation so that we can change production lines really quickly without having a lot of downtime, and then we can have smaller batch sizes. And the third thing we're seeing is a lot of real-time awareness. So we need to have robots, and we saw great humanoids recently, and even more traditional pick-and-place robots are going through a revolution in terms of real-time awareness. So they're being able to perceive their environment in real time, and that will enable them to perceive what the human is doing and adjust their operation accordingly from a safety perspective. But it also means that they are much more productive, and they can optimally, for example, from an AMR, plan its route around a factory without it doesn't have to follow a fixed route. So they're just some high-level trends.
And I heard also from your colleague Rob about the software side, but that software configurability, I think that's a key thing right now, isn't it?
Yes, so what we're seeing is if you want to have flexibility on your factory floor, you need to be able to configure and reconfigure things in real time. And that can be through to like a soft. What we see is an I/O platform that would have been a fixed function in the past. Now is software configurable. It could be an input, an output, analog or digital. And the other thing we're seeing is the connectivity network is really the enabler of flexibility. So can you access all of those nodes in your factory, and can you reconfigure them in real time through your connectivity? And of course the other big trend we're seeing all over the place is this underlying idea of edge intelligence and deploying more and more edge intelligence locally, so you can inform decisions.
So that's the real-time awareness then.
Yes.
It leads into that,
yes,
doesn't it?
Exactly. And it's I think you can go real-time awareness is very broad in terms of it's very you can relate to it, right? We can understand it. But we can actually have much simpler things as well in terms of edge of intelligence, in terms of smart sensors, smart actuators, motion health monitoring. Some of the things we're showing out there is asset health condition monitoring of a motor, so you can signal in real time if there's an issue in terms of it's going outside spec, it's getting hot, it's burning energy, and then you can trigger so it doesn't make a whole batch of defective products before you know it, and you've a whole load of waste and a whole load of defective products. So that's another good example of sensorization and moving intelligence to the edge. I think another example we've seen is, and you've probably seen them on our stand, we have some of the lowest power neural networks in processing, which means you can do AI now at the edge in a battery powered system.
Okay.
And we're showing some of that out there, again in terms of vision systems for robotics. And that is very, when we talk about retrofitting factories, that's what becomes really important. Can you do battery powered or wireless type applications?
So there's a lot there. And what are you seeing? What are the key sort of applications, customers that you can talk about?
Yeah. So I guess ADI, customers are coming to ADI and they're asking us for help in solving their problems, particularly about deploying intelligence to the edge. And I think one of our core strengths is working in collaboration with customers to really understand their system level problems. So one of the things we're showcasing on our stand is where we've worked with a partner on sensor fusion for a robot, and where they wanted to have multiple vision sensing and a really high-speed backplane based off our innovative GMSL high bandwidth connectivity network. Another example, we're working with Lattice on a motion control reference design where they're providing the FPGA and we're providing all of the analog and power capabilities. Power is central to everything, right?
Yes.
Everything needs power,
Yeah.
but it's not for ADI. It's about efficient power delivery, and it's about working with customers to make the right choices so that we can optimize power not just for a chip, but at a system level and between systems as well in terms of system partitioning.
Wow. Okay. I mean, there's a lot there. So, what's next from you?
Yes, so I suppose one of the things in ADI is we have a team of 10,000 engineers globally working on solving some of the most complex customer problems, and they're energized every day by working with customers, by actually getting deep into the domains. And for us in my team, it's all around the industrial automation space. It's all around helping people connect the factories of the future, helping them create adaptive control systems and add edge intelligence and real-time awareness. So things like time of flight technology with some innovations we have there. We have a whole host of investments on trinamic motion control, and therefore low
Yes.
power DC motors and of course stepper motors, and analog is based on capturing real world analog signals and interpreting them, and that will drive a data driven transformation. And at our heart is always precision analog and precision signal conditioning, and that's what we will continue to lead in.
It's an apt name, for a world where we're all digital. You need that analog interface.
And I think that is what some people don't understand. The closer you are to the data, and we are at the edge in terms of where we capture that data, and by better understanding that data and the source of that data, we can make better decisions on how to process it and how to get the right signatures to make informed decisions.
Just one last question on the industrial automation front. Then, are you seeing a lot of these next levels of automation in any particular areas, like automotive, or is it sort of across the board?
Yeah, I think there's two big trends, right? One is greenfield, new factories being developed. They will always be state of the art, right?
Yeah.
They will get the best of everything, and from an efficiency and productivity perspective, they're going to lead the way. So gigafactories are the huge big investment we see in Europe and other areas. Automotive is always a key investment sector. Biopharma is one where
Really?
beside us in Limerick, they're building a big new biopharma plant.
Okay.
It's going to be all automated. So that's another area we're seeing investment. I think across the board in terms of sectors. But where the real challenge comes is actually retrofitting brownfield facilities. And they have big constraints with factory building is constrained, space is a constraint, and of course they also have infrastructure constraints in terms of what cabling network is used. So capabilities like our long reach 10BASE-T1L Ethernet enables retrofitting on those existing cables. So that's revolutionary in terms of, can we get IP addressability? So we talked about configurability. You can't configure anything if you can't connect to it, and that's what that gives you.
Well, Fiona, thank you very much.
Thank you, great to talk to you.